What is the brutal fact of your current reality? That was the question that I posed to you in our last segment. I love that question and love the thinking that happens as a result of that question. And yet, whenever I think of that question, what is the brutal fact of our current reality? I can't help but think of the Stockdale paradox. That's right, the Stockdale paradox. Once again, I'll reference Jim Collins and his best-selling book, Good to Great. In the book, he describes this Stockdale paradox. It starts with understanding the hero in the story, so to speak, and that's Admiral James Stockdale. Admiral Stockdale was the highest ranking military officer, American military officer, to be captured and to serve time in a North Vietnamese prison during the Vietnamese War. Highest ranking officer to be imprisoned during that war. He spent 8 years in that prison. He was tortured regularly as a result of being such a high-ranking officer. Tortured regularly. Well, after 8 years, he was released at the conclusion of the war. Came back and was very successful after retirement in business, and then served Ross Perot when he ran for president. In 1992, I believe, he served as Perot's vice presidential candidate. He was a hero in this country. Jim Collins, not long ago, interviewed Admiral Stockdale, because Stockdale had written a book about his experience in that Vietnamese prison. And Collins asked him, he said, "Admiral, I can't imagine what it would be like to have had that experience that you had in that prison, tortured on a regular basis." And so Collins asked him, "So, how did you survive such a miserable experience?" And Stockdale's response, I thought, was very interesting. He said, two ways. I survived in 2 ways. He said, number one, I had unwavering belief that one day I would walk out of that prison. Unwavering faith that one day I would be free. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, but I knew one day I would be a free man. Unwavering faith. Secondly, he said, I also, to survive that experience, had to address the brutal facts of my current reality. His words. I had to address the brutal facts of my current reality. That being, I was stuck in this prison for as long as it could be, being tortured on a regular basis. Horrible experience. I had to confront the brutal facts of my current reality. And that's become known now as what's called the Stockdale paradox. Paradox because it seems like those two would be at odds. On one hand, having unwavering faith. On the other hand, being able to confront the brutal fact of our current reality. And yet, what Stockdale found is they weren't at odds. They actually complemented each other. They worked together. Unwavering faith, I'm going to get out. Brutal fact, for the near term, I'm stuck in this terrible experience. What would be your example of a Stockdale paradox? Something that you have unwavering faith in. Maybe it's about your business. And yet you also have to confront the brutal fact is, hey, maybe we're not growing as fast as we could, or we don't have enough cash, or we're losing key employees. The business is disorganized. Brutal fact of your current reality. So as you go about now planning for your company's growth, I want you to consider that Stockdale paradox and how it applies to your business.